Hello everyone, welcome to my Sunday Horror Diary series. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some horror books that I read in March, all by Black authors and with Black main characters. Horror is my favorite genre and I'm really enjoying this emergence of Black horror in media. There are so many themes that can be explored in horror which makes reading and watching it so enjoyable to me. But with that being said, a lot of horror media contains content and trigger warnings that may be sensitive to people, so please check those before getting into these books. I'll try my best to give you a heads up if it's major. All right, let's get into it. The Library of the Dead really surprised me because I always thought it was a YA book. It's not, by the way. The main character in this book is only 15, but the book is actually categorized as just fantasy, and you can find it in the general fantasy section of bookstores in my experience. It's more horror fantasy to me. The book takes place in a dystopian Edinburgh, Scotland, and is about a slumdog medium who sees and speaks to ghosts. What I love most about this book was the audio narration. The audio version of this book is just chef's kiss. It is so good. I've never knew how much I needed a Black Scottish accent. This book came out back in 2021, and I remember trying to read it then, but I just couldn't get into it. And this was way before I started listening to audiobooks. You have to listen to the audio version of this book to really understand Ropa's character and really hear the lilt and the cadence and the patterns in the narration. It's so immersive and it's so easy to get lost in this world with the audio. I'll read you some of the synopsis. Ropa dropped out of school to become a ghost talker, and they sure do love to talk. Now she speaks to Edinburgh's dead, carrying messages to those that they left behind. A girl's gotta earn a living, and it seems harmless enough until that is the dead whisper that someone's bewitching children, leaving them husks, empty of joy and strength. It's on Ropa's patch, so she feels honor bound to investigate, but what she learns will rock her world. Ropa will dice with death as she calls on Zimbabwean magic and Scottish pragmatism to hunt down clues. And although underground Edinburgh hides a wealth of dark secrets, she also discovers an occult library, a magical mentor, and some unexpected allies. Yet, as the shadows lengthen, will the hunter become the hunted? Definitely give the Library of the Dead a read. I'll be talking about books 2 and 3 next month. The next book was recommended to me through a comment on my Black and Unhinged book rec video on TikTok, and it's called Feed, and the author's name is TC Whetstone. And just take a moment to look at this cover and see why it was definitely recommended to me. I found this book in the Kindle store, and I think it's available to read for free with Kindle Unlimited. It's about a seemingly normal day at a seemingly normal grocery store. It's a short story, just under 50 pages, I believe, but it's giving full-length vibes. This author does a really good job with drawing you into the story, giving adequate descriptions and character background, and giving a fully fleshed out plot in under 50 pages. The writing is very good and it was paced very well, not rushed, not slow, just perfect. I can't wait to read more by this author. Here is the synopsis. Step into the deprived and wandering mind of T.C. Whetstone's debut novelette, Feed. You'll think twice before returning your cart at the store or falling in love with the woman who seems to offer it all. A nameless man prowls the parking lot outside of Feed. For 6 months, he's stalked a new target, Amini Cameron. Desperately in love, he decides today is the day. He needs what Amini has, and it's time to take it. But when the plan derails and he finds himself trapped in the trunk of her car, it soon becomes clear Amini is not all the woman she seems. Next, I read We Came to Welcome You by Vincent Tirado. This is why I say don't let ratings and reviews determine whether you'll read or enjoy a book or not. Especially today's ratings and reviews. These people don't know nothing. I mean, me included. I'm just a girl. I really enjoyed this book though. I was actually unknowingly chatting with this author on TikTok one day when they left a comment on my video that featured my favorite horror book ever. On Sunday, She Picked Flowers, and we started talking about the author, and I naturally checked out their profile, and they had horror author in their bio, and I said, hold up. I clicked on their link and I found this book, and the rest is history, or horror in this case. This book is about a couple who move into a new neighborhood but quickly discover the evil that is the homeowners association. If you know, you know. I find myself really rooting for the main character the whole book. I was heavily invested in this story, but I will say I would have liked maybe 2 more chapters at the end just to fully explore the ending, but that's just me. Here's the synopsis. Sol Reyes has had a rough year after a series of workplace incidents at her university lab culminates in a plagiarism accusation. Sol is put on probation. Dutiful visits to her homophobic father aren't helping her mental health, and she finds her nightly glass of wine becoming more of an all day and all bottle event. Her wife Alice Song is far more optimistic. After all, the two finally managed to buy a house in a beautiful gated community of Mainless Grove. However, the neighbors are a little too friendly in Soul's opinion. She has no interest in the pushy homeowners association, their bizarrely detailed contract, or their never-ending microaggressions. But Alice simply attributes their pursuit to the community motto, invest in a neighborly spirit, which only serves to irritate Soul more. Suddenly, strange occurrences, doors and stairs disappearing, roots growing inside the house, cause Soul to wonder if her social paranoia isn't built on something more sinister. Yet Soul's fears are dismissed as Alice embraces their new home and becomes increasingly worried instead about Soul's drinking and manic behavior. When Soul finds a journal on a property from a resident that went missing a few years ago, she realizes why they were able to buy the house so easily. Definitely check this one out. Okay, this book right here, this book right here, if we are talking about vibes, this book cover is giving all dark academia, entomology, cottagecore vibes we have been wanting, right? Or at least I have. This is Hollow Tongue. Even the title is a vibe. Hollow Tongue by Eden Royce, one of my favorite horror authors. I'm always recommending her Spooklight series in my gothic horror videos. If you are looking for Southern Gothic horror, definitely check it out. This book is about a woman who returns to her haunting childhood home to settle some family affairs. And as part of this collection of short fiction stories by various authors, not all of them black though, called the Selected Papers from the Consortium for the Study of Anomalous Phenomena. And it's supposed to be like these lost case studies of bizarre psychological behaviors and experiences. In the beginning, it's like a professor giving you an overview of the quote unquote case study and what to expect in the following papers. And I really love the dark academia theme of that. But the story itself is so southern and gothic, and I may be a little biased, but the story takes place in Charleston, South Carolina, and the author is from the Low Country, and I am so South Carolina. So when this author is describing these places and characters and smells, it just feels like home to me. I really love this book. It's giving top horror book of the year, and it's also a short one, just under 100 pages, but gives full length vibes. Just overall good plot, adequate detail and background, great pacing, and just good, slow burn, unsettling horror. Here is the synopsis. After a major accident leaves her in a dire financial situation, Maxine Forrest returns to live in her childhood home. The empty husk holds the memories of her father's abuse and her mother's reticence to leave him. Her parents are nowhere to be found. The cocoon of her past remains unchanged, yet wrapped in the ghostly remnants of her mother's whispered insistence that things could change. Escaping the sins of her parents should be easy enough for Max, but those sins are intrinsic to her genetic makeup, so escape is impossible. Succumbing and metamorphosis are inevitable. So if you're looking for something short, sweet, or rotten and unsettling, Hollow Tongue is the book for you. And that's it for this video. Please let me know your recommendations in the comments.